Okay, so you know how it is, right? You want to eat healthy, but who has the time?
Yeah, finding the time and motivation to cook healthy meals can be really challenging these days.
Exactly. And then you go online and you see these crazy recipes with like a million ingredients. I'm looking at you, Joshua Weissman.
Haha. Yes, Weissman's recipes are definitely known for being a bit, shall we say, elaborate.
But he also knows his stuff. This video we're looking at today, cheap and healthy meals for the week, done in 1 hour, is actually pretty interesting.
It is. He is going for healthy and affordable, which is something we can all get behind.
And this isn't just some random YouTube chef talking. Weissman actually lost over 100 pounds himself, right?
Yeah, by the time he was 16. So he understands the struggles of trying to eat healthy and make it a lifestyle change.
So in this video, he's got his friend Noor along with him, kind of like a health consultant, I guess.
Exactly. Noor's there to make sure the meals are actually healthy and balanced, ticking all the boxes.
Now, one thing that kind of surprised me was he uses a sous vide machine, which I gotta admit, I don't have one.
Yeah, the sous vide can seem a bit intimidating or expensive. I mean, who really has one just lying around?
Right. But it actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it. The sous vide is all about cooking food evenly at a precise temperature, so no more dry chicken breasts.
Exactly. And because it cooks in a water bath, you don't have to worry about burning or overcooking anything.
So even if you don't have a sous vide, the principle is still useful. Find ways to simplify your cooking process to save time.
Right. And Weissman definitely has some smart strategies in this video that anyone can use.
Okay, so let's talk food. Weissman's put together a pretty pasty-looking menu for the week. Jammy egg breakfast sausage sandwich, a green goddess salad, and then you can choose either a fajita bowl or teriyaki salmon skewers with cabbage slaw.
And what I really appreciate is that he's focusing on both nutrition and flavor. Too often, healthy meals can be bland and boring.
And who wants to eat like that for a whole week?
Nobody. Eating healthy should be enjoyable.
So, all right, let's break down the meal prep process. First things first, the rice is going in the rice cooker, or you could use a pressure cooker if you are in a hurry.
The pressure cooker is a great way to save time, especially if you're cooking for a whole week.
Then, 5 pounds of protein goes into the sous vide. You can choose either chicken breast or pork tenderloin.
I like that he gives you options because not everyone wants to eat chicken every day.
Then he whips up this green goddess dressing with almonds, nutritional yeast, garlic, greens, and oil.
That dressing is so good for you. It's packed with healthy fats, vitamins, and fiber from the greens.
When he listed the ingredients, I was like, nutritional yeast? Really? But honestly, it looks delicious.
I know, right? Nutritional yeast has this cheesy flavor that really adds something special.
So while the dressing is blending and the protein is doing its thing in the sous vide, it's time to tackle the veggies. For the fajita bowls, it's sliced peppers and onions, easy peasy.
And even if you don't make the full fajita bowl, those sautéed peppers and onions are a great side dish for any meal.
Absolutely. All right, we're about 35 minutes into our hour, and this is where things get real. We have to make a decision. Do we make both the breakfast sandwiches, A and B the salmon skewers, or do we choose just one?
The classic meal prep dilemma. Time is ticking. Tough choices, right?
It really is. It's like, sometimes you just got to prioritize and say, okay, I have time for this, but not this,
Exactly. You have to be realistic about what you can accomplish in the time you have.
So speaking of time, let's talk about some of the details in these recipes, because some of them are pretty cool.
Yes, there are definitely some clever tricks in here.
Like the jammy eggs for the breakfast sandwiches, 6.5 minutes is all it takes to get that perfect runny yolk.
Oh, I love a good jammy egg. It just makes the sandwich so much more satisfying.
Right. And then he makes this turkey sausage. And it's not just like plain ground turkey. It's got sage and cayenne pepper for flavor.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You can have healthy food that actually tastes good.
Yeah. And speaking of flavor, that teriyaki salmon, oh my gosh, when he was filleting the salmon, he was like using the heel to the tip of the knife. And I was just like,
he's got some serious knife skills.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And then he grills it on only one side of the grill, which I thought was interesting.
That's a smart technique. It prevents the salmon from drying out.
Oh, and I almost forgot about the lemony slaw.
That one is so simple, but so good.
Yeah, just lemon juice for the dressing. It's like so refreshing.
It's a nice change from all those heavy, creamy dressings.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we move on, we got to talk about Noor's verdict on these meals.
Mm-hmm.
She gave them the thumbs up for both taste and nutrition.
That's what we like to hear.
Right. Proof that healthy eating doesn't have to be boring.
It's all about finding that balance.
And Weissman actually set a goal for himself to be shredded by July 4th. So he's definitely putting these meals to the test.
It's always inspiring to see someone who walks the walk. You know what I mean?
Totally. But here's the thing. We've been talking about all these specific recipes and techniques.
Yeah.
But I think there's a bigger takeaway here.
Oh, for sure.
And that is, you don't need to be a professional chef or have a fancy kitchen to eat healthy.
Absolutely not anyone can do this.
It's about planning ahead, choosing the right ingredients, and finding ways to make cooking easier and more efficient.
And most importantly, making it enjoyable, right? Like if you're not excited about your food, you are not going to stick with it.
Exactly. Okay, so I know some of you might be thinking, but I don't have a sous vide. What am I supposed to do?
I hear you. The sous vide is great, but it's not essential.
You can absolutely adapt these recipes to your own kitchen and equipment.
You can bake the chicken or pork, you could grill it, or even pan-sear it on the stovetop.
It's all about finding what works for you.
The important thing is to make sure the protein is cooked through but not overcooked.
And for the rice, you can easily cook that on the stovetop. Or you could try other grains like quinoa or farro.
There are so many options out there.
So don't get hung up on the tools. Focus on the principles behind the recipes and make them your own.
I think that is really the key takeaway.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into Weissman's cheap and healthy meals, I want to leave you with something to think about.
All right, I'm listening.
You know how Weissman focuses on 3 main meals in this video?
Yeah.
But what if we took his same approach? The intentionality, the efficiency, the focus on flavor.
Okay.
And applied it to other types of meals. What if we thought about snacks or even desserts the same way we think about these main meals?
Oh, I like where you're going with this.
Instead of just grabbing whatever's convenient,
Yeah.
What if we planned out our snacks and made sure they were just as nutritious and delicious as our main meals?
I mean, it makes sense, right? We put so much effort into planning our dinners, but then we just kind of wing it when it comes to snacks.
And that's usually when those unhealthy cravings kick in.
Exactly. So if we apply Weissman's principles to snacks, we could actually end up eating healthier overall.
Right. And it doesn't have to be complicated either.
No, not at all. Like, think about some simple swaps you could make. Instead of chips, you could have a handful of almonds or some veggie sticks with hummus.
Oh, or fruit with nut butter. That's always a good one.
And for desserts, you don't have to give up sweet treats entirely.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
But you could try making healthier versions using natural sweeteners like dates or maple syrup.
Yeah, or even just fruit baked with some cinnamon that can be really satisfying.
Absolutely. And don't forget about drinks, too.
Drinks?
Yeah. Instead of sugary sodas or juices, you could have water infused with fruit or herbs or a homemade smoothie.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I love smoothies.
It's all about making those small changes that can have a big impact on your health.
And finding ways to make healthy eating fun and enjoyable.
Right. Exactly. If you're enjoying your food, you are more likely to stick with it.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Joshua Weissman's cheap and healthy meals, we hope you've gotten some inspiration and some practical tips that you can use in your own kitchen.
Remember, you don't have to be a gourmet chef to eat healthy.
It's all about planning ahead, being mindful of your choices, and finding what works for you and your lifestyle.
And don't be afraid to experiment in the kitchen.
Exactly. Have fun with it.
Happy cooking, everyone.